Hello everyone. Today with this video we are going to demonstrate the test load test on single cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine. Here we have single cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine. Since we know diesel engines are constant speed engines, the speed level for this diesel engine is kept at 1500 rpm, 1500 rpm. So at this constant speed the diesel engine is going to work. For this purpose the governor is designed and it is employed in this engine. Here we see is the engine body here. It is the injector here. This is spillover which is provided to the filter unit. This is the injection pipe. This is injection pipe. These are the piezoelectric sensors which will give the reading of intake exhaust temperatures. So this spillover is directly given to the filter unit here. The input of filter is from this pipe and from the tank. This filter is provided to this injection pump. Here the injection pump meters and pressurize the fuel and it provides this fuel under pressure to the injector. Here by operating this valve we are engaging the inlet valve by operating this lever. When we operate this lever the valve is disengaged. Okay. Now this is a flywheel which is provided to the diesel engine. The output shaft of this engine is provided to the eddy current dynamometer. Eddy current dynamometer is provided with the water circulation. This is the inlet to the eddy current dynamometer and this is outlet to the eddy current dynamometer. In eddy current dynamometer there is a stator. Stator is at its periphery and on that stator the windings are wound. When we supply the electrical current to this stator winding, it will have the magnetic field produced, and as the rotor is the engine shaft from engine that is rotating in this magnetic field, it will cut the flux and it will have the again mutual induction phenomenon, and with this phenomenon the EMF is generated and it will produce the magnetic field which will oppose the previous one. So by providing a particular current to the stator winding, we are providing the magnetic pulse and magnetic field which is in opposite direction to the shaft speed. So the opposition to the shaft that we will carry out by providing the current in this stator winding. So the load on this engine is increased by regulating the current in this eddy current dynamometer. Here we see is the exhaust. Whatever the exhaust gases that are produced during the combustion process that are given to this calorimeter. This is the calorimeter. From this calorimeter the exhaust gases are provided to the atmosphere. Here air intake pipe, it is taken from this tank. This air intake is measured by this orifice meter and the air is directly taken inside this engine. Since the diesel engines are constant speed engines, so that we have to start that engine by cranking. So for cranking purpose, at the other end of this engine here the shaft is given. By inserting the crank here and by providing some cranking action, the engine is started. Here we have the test setup for test on diesel engine. Here we have the display unit. It will display the temperature for various conditions. By operating this valve we can measure the temperatures for various input and output conditions. This display will indicate the load that is on the shaft. This load is regulated by using this dimmer stat valve. This dimmer stat will regulate the current provided to the eddy current dynamometer. and whatever the load on engine that is indicated in this display unit. The speed of this engine is indicated here. Let us take the look over the system's constants. Here we see the specifications. It is the single cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine. Fuel is used as a diesel. The rated power is 5.2 kilowatt at 1500 rpm. Means this diesel engine will continuously work on this rpm. The diameter of cylinder is 87.5 mm, stroke length is 110 mm. From this we can calculate the piston displacement, that is swept volume, which is given by the formula pi by 4 d square into L. The compression ratio is 17.5:1. The diameter of orifice is 20 mm and the dynamometer arm length is 185 mm, that we have to convert into meter. Here we see is the manometer. By noting the deflection in this manometer, we can have the air flow to the engine. This is a pipette in which the fuel is stored. Now, this fuel cock will operate same as that of the petrol engine test setup. When we take this fuel cock to the tank level, the supply from tank to the engine that will connect, and when we take it to the measuring level, the fuel from this pipette will consume. Here below we see are the two rotameters. First rotameter, through this rotameter the water is supplied to the engine, and through this rotameter the water is supplied to the calorimeter. Let us understand how to perform this experiment. First of all, check that the switch is on. When the switch is on, the readings are displayed like this. Keep this temperature at position 1. Ensure that correct flow is through these two rotameters. Rotameter for supplying the water to the engine and to the calorimeter. Ensure that these two rotameters will have correct position. Now, since the diesel engines are constant speed engines, so at the starting the speed of the engine will be 1500 rpm. For that speed, whatever the load on engine, that is indicated by this load indicator. Now, initially keep the load at its minimum position by operating this dimmer stat valve. Now gradually increase the load at a particular value. So by operating this dimmer stat valve, we will increase the load. So for this particular load, now operate the fuel cock at the measuring level and measure the time for 10 cc consumption and write down this reading in observation table. Now, since the load is increased by using this dimmer stat, it is the tendency of diesel engine to work on constant speed. So, governor will automatically make sure that the fuel supply should be increased as load is increasing, since the diesel engines are working at constant speeds. So as the load on engine increases, the governor achieves some position so as to have more amount of fuel to be injected inside the engine to keep the speed at its constant level. Okay, so there is no need to operate the separate throttle valve and to control the amount of fuel to be injected, since this task is done by the governor itself. Now this was the first set of reading. Now again increase the load by using this dimmer stat valve, and for that particular load measure the specific fuel consumption when the cock is at measuring level. Now measure this 10 cc fuel consumption and time required for the 10 cc fuel consumption. Note down this time in observation table. Repeat the same procedure for 3 to 4 set of readings. Okay. By operating this dimmer stat valve, control the load on this engine and measure the specific fuel consumption from this pipette. Repeat the experiment for 3 to 4 times. Now after the end of experiment, gradually reduce the load on engine to its minimum level, and after that switch off the engine by cutting off the supply to the suction valve. Let us understand the observation and observation table. Observations are like this. It is a 4-stroke single cylinder, bore, stroke, length of dynamometer arm, density of fuel and calorific value of that fuel. See, the speed is going to remain constant, that is 1500 rpm. Note down the first load condition. For that load condition, what is the fuel consumption? Write down here. For 10 cc, how much seconds are consumed, that we have to write here. Average pressure is indicated by the indicator diagram that we will see in the computer. So for various loads, write down the fuel consumption time and write down the average pressure. This average pressure is used to determine indicated pressure. So these are the result table that we have to calculate, that we have to write down later on. Now let us move toward the calculation. See, the calculation on the diesel engine is same as the petrol engine, so we will not invest some more time in that. Briefly we will have the overview of calculation. First of all, to calculate the brake thermal efficiency, we must require the specific fuel consumption and brake power. So to have the brake power, we must require the torque, since the speed is constant here, 1500 rpm. To have the torque, we have formula as mass on display into 9.81 into dynamometer arm. From this we will have the value of torque. We put this value of torque in this equation of brake power, we will have the brake power in kilowatt. Now we will calculate the fuel consumption. Fuel consumption is equal to volume of fuel consumed divided by time into density. So this fuel consumption will be in kg per hour. Now specific fuel consumption is given by the formula mass of fuel consumed divided by brake power, so it will be in kg per kilowatt hour. When we put the value of this m dot f and brake power in this equation, so we will have the brake thermal efficiency. Now calculate this brake thermal efficiency for various loads and write down this brake thermal efficiency and mechanical efficiency in this column.